Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm continuing update on succulents that are now inside. I was hoping actually not to have 3 rows of lights this year, but unfortunately I do. But my favorite lights were the longest time those pink lights that are underneath. They're not on this year, and most of my Echeverias are somewhere else, and I'll show you where they are. If we don't make it in this video, then in the following video. But let me do close-up of every shelf so you can see what I have here. A lot of my Euphorbia and Crassula specimens grew bigger, so I had to have them under lights. And then I have some of the Echeverias and Grapto varieties underneath here. So let's take a look. So on my second shelf, there is a lot of Crassulas. Actually, half of the shelf is Crassulas, half of it is Euphorbias, and it's the same thing on the first shelf. It's just that first shelf has the light lower, so I have a shorter varieties, and then here I have some bigger specimens. So this is my Crassula perforata string of buttons, and then behind it is my Crassula ivory towers, which is kind of like a giant Crassula string of buttons. They both have a little bit of mealybugs infestation, and I had to spray them with alcohol. But overall, I think they're doing good. There is a lot of blooming Crassulas all around. This is Ivory Towers bloom. Then I have here my rupestris, Crassula rupestris, that actually has been growing so many branches like this. You can see popping everywhere that I had to cut some tops because they were like too tall, and I tucked them on this side so I can kind of even out this pot. There, I think this one is called Volata, maybe, not 100% sure, like a wavy leaf Crassula, and then I have my variegated one. It seems to be really liking here under lights. Among my Euphorbias, I have these beauties here. This is monodanium, variegated monodanium. This is Tanzania red, bioensis. Got this one. This one, Medusa or Flanangani, has been getting yellow branches, and the soil has been very, very dry, so I kept watering it more, but typically yellow leaves are a sign or branches of overwatering, so I don't exactly know what's wrong with it. I may need to check the root system. This is Tanzanian zipper plant, one of them. I have more than one. And then this one here is, I don't remember. I don't know. This one I got this year and it grew so much. My goodness, it has so many branches. Look at that cluster. It's really, really big. This is one of my propagations of Mini Monstera that seem to be successful, rooted. And then on the shelf above, there is this Fruticosa, I think it's called, or something. I forgot. This one I got from Michelle from Succulent Eden. There is another Tanzanian zipper plant. Then I have, actually I'm not going to do them justice if I don't pull them out, so let me take them down. So I took it down so you can see it well. This one has been blooming. It's a Euphorbia stuffy, and it has one branch here, another branch here, and there is third one popping up on this side. This is one of the new additions that I got this year. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. And it has some props that are growing bigger. This is Opuntioides Euphorbia. Just keeps growing. I really love it. I love that flat, round branches. This is also new addition that I got this year and actually grew quite a bit since I got it, and I had to repot it because it got quite a larger roots as well. And then this is the cutting that I propagated from my big plant, and I'm so excited to see that it's actually starting to grow little branches on the bottom. Can you see now over there? Yeah, so very excited about that. This is corn cob, and then I have variegated corn cob as well here in the corner. I love this one that has already babies. It's going to be really exciting to cut it and just root it individually. In the second tray, I have Euphorbia stellata that, as you can see, started popping some new growth and leaves since I got it under lights. This is my, I don't know, some kind of rupestris hybrid. It looks different than the Crassula springtime. I got it from Gas Farms. I don't know what it is exactly. This is my baby surprise. I actually started making video a month ago, and I never showed you where I was propagating some of the Crassulas. This is my wonderful Burvifolia that I had to cut. It was severely affected this summer by a sudden exposure to sun and heat, and it lost a tremendous amount of leaves, and I had to take cuttings. Most of these cuttings are rooted and firm. There is some that still have tiny little roots, like this one has white little roots, as you can see, so they're needing to be a bit more firmly embedded, but hopefully I'm going to have this one grow because I'm so sad I don't have the big one that I used to have. This one I also had to cut, Purple Delight. I do still have mother plant that doesn't look terrible, but it's not looking great either. So I'm going to take it to conservatory. But these cuttings, I just placed in this little pot recently, so hopefully they will root. This is my bear paw. And then here is cuttings of my Crassula baby's necklace. Again, that was really badly affected during the summer, and I had to take cuttings. These are all cuttings that rooted. There is some that haven't, like this one. You can see those dehydrated looking ones. Those haven't established yet, but it's at blooming. There's a lot of blooms on my other Crassula string of buttons hybrid. As you can see, I chopped this one. Video was about that. I chopped it a lot. It used to be much bigger, and I established some more small pots just because I think it was just having a lot of very brittle old branches, and I felt like it needed to be restarted. So this is that new started pot with cuttings, and I'm excited about it. I already took down all of the trays from the third row, so I can show you right away. I still have some available space for some pots that I can add here, but I have my Senecio, it's called Ruby's Necklace here, that was very, very purple outside and actually has bloomed, and it's still preparing to bloom. But it lost a little bit of color when I got it inside. This is actually all propagations of my original plant because it got a bit leggy and neglected. This is Pachyphytum that actually was this year outside and lost some of its color. Echeveria Lola. Then I have some more Euphorbias. These here that I got from Lowe's have grown so much, guys, and I don't know if you can notice, they're actually popping pups, each one individually. So I could separate one of these and let it grow individually, and they started popping these pups since I put it under lights. So I think that they're really liking it, even more than being outside. Here's Two Big Lance cat hybrid, really tiny one. This is some kind of other variety. And then I propagated this one. Actually, it is blooming. I think it's called Restricta because I didn't like the shape that it had. So it looks really nice. It rooted here. This is Obesa hybrid. This is, oh, is it this Spina, something like that. It has quite a bit of branches. Echeverias Snow Bunny has a lot of little babies coming up. And then these are propagations of my cotyledon. So cute. I don't know why it's been a bit dehydrated. Actually, I think it's plumping up. It was in a very small pot, this size pot, and I just yesterday repotted it, and I almost feel like it's starting to plump up. I think it was just too small of a pot for it. And then I have some lithops here. Kylo, I hear the toilet seat being moved. I think Kylo is very jealous. I'm not giving him attention and it's been naughty. Then I have some beautiful color Echeverias here. This is my lipstick. Another Echeveria, I have one upstairs, a natural light. This is Miranda, Echeveria agavoides. I forgot the name of this one. And this one. There's just beautiful color ones. Purpurorum, I think this is some kind of variegated one, but it lost variegation. So I don't know if I chop it, if it would continue to grow variegated or it's just forever lost. Maybe it's forever lost. Look at how pretty this is. It's preparing to bloom. Just really, really pretty colors. Viola is also preparing to bloom. I actually love looking at this tray. It's just gorgeous, right? And it kind of goes nice with the colors of lithops. And then here I have a few varieties that I know like to be under lights during the winter time. They like more intense light. I have made videos about Pachyphytum varieties. This is another crassula that was affected by the sunlight and the dryness, and these are all cuttings that I took here and they're successfully rooting. It's not in a terrible shape. I did lose some of the Crassulas this summer, and some are on recovery in conservatory. Jade's necklace. I propagated this one because it was getting too tall, so it's now growing some new branches. So yeah. So this is it for the succulents that are under lights. Another thing that I promised you I'm going to do in the previous video is show you my cacti collection. So my cacti collection was the first among all my succulent groups to go inside because we were getting so much rain and I was afraid with temperatures dropping that they're going to get damaged. So I treated them, I think, first week of October with neem oil, and I treated them again last night. We're now in the beginning of November. I just want to make sure that they stay healthy because it is a little bit warmer than they probably need to be dormant here inside of the house. But it's probably the coolest spot that I can find for them, in the basement close to the windows. But there is still some of them that are blooming, like this mammillaria. There is some astrophytum as well that are still blooming. And opuntias, you know, they're weird. They sometimes in the middle of the winter will start growing. So I have to give them a tiny bit of water every month or two, you know, very small amounts. So somebody asked me, how do I make everything look so clean? Well, I have liners here, guys. These are bought from Lowe's, and I have the same ones in kitchen drawers and kitchen cabinets, and it really helps wood stay clean and not lose and damage, you know, paint. So on top here, I have a mammillaria that I repotted twice. I got it in spring this year, and it was in a small pot from Lowe's. I put it originally in this size pot, which was bigger than the Lowe's pot, and then it grew in that pot a lot, so I moved it to this bigger pot, and there's some blooms that were popping up here and here in the last week. And now you can see it filled completely this pot up. This was one of my first succulents when I was a child, around age 13. Super prolific. You just take one of these little circles, stick it in the ground, and it's gonna be in a year a big, you know, clump of them. So I'm quite a fan of mammillaria, so I really enjoy looking at them. This is Astrophytum ornatum. I have it for years. I feel like this year has grown a little bit more than the last few years. It hasn't really been growing much, but I also keep them in smaller pots so that I don't have too big of specimens here in the house. So this is minting. I love this cactus. I love the color, the texture. It's just so cool looking. And you can see no mealybugs, so I'm hoping it's going to continue to stay like that. This one did have mealybugs. I don't know the name of this one. It had some on the tips here. So you can see from the spraying with the neem oil, it looks kind of dark green. Next to it, I have this Stenocereus pruinosus. I have two of these. This one finally got a bit taller. It was maybe half the size last year. Interesting thing that happened with this mammillaria, guys, is that it split in two heads. So it's going to be very interesting seeing next year as it continues to grow. It's going to have it's going to be double-headed here on top. It had only one center last year, so now there's two centers. How cool, right? This one also did have some pests, so I had to treat it. This is just Puntia Baby Rita. Really pretty color. This one I had really tall. It had like two more petals, and I ended up cutting the top petal and rooting it. And I sold the bigger one because it started getting really, really tall, almost getting to the top shelf, edge, which is obviously a challenge then to store them. And then in this row, I have a lot of Mammillarias and Astrophytums. So this one here, guys, I don't know if you remember, if you watch my videos, it was maybe this size when I got it. So this big part was about that size when I got it and had some small pups. And now look how much it's bigger and has all these little pups going around. I think it's so cute. So this is another Mammillaria I have for many years. Then here is some of my Astrophytums. You can see the growth, how they kind of like get some of these edges spreading as they're growing bigger. And this one has bloomed more than once this summer, and it still has some kind of bloom coming up. This one here I brought from Serbia. It's the four-sided one. I really wanted to have it. I have a big one in Serbia. This is just a little baby one that I brought. Then I have a few more Mammillarias. This one bloomed a lot this year, as well as this one here that is called Mammillaria prolifera. I don't feel like it has grown many babies, just a few. It hasn't really grown much. This one is so adorable, guys. It had so many blooms around. They just keep popping up, but it's just so pretty, like a pretty white color. And then this one also is one of my favorite. And it's so soft to touch. It got taller. Yeah. And then I have two of these that I brought from Serbia. It's Astrophytum that has bloomed this summer. Has orangish bloom. And then this one here that I think it's adorable. I removed one of these little pups growing, and I tried to root it, and it has a little roots. Here it is, guys. In this pot, I have a little baby plant, so I'm trying to grow it with the other small Astrophytums. These are two Mammillarias. So I have some bigger cactuses here that are borderline. How you see, I had to stick it out here because it cannot fit on any of the shelves because it's getting too tall. So we'll see what we're going to do next year. Same thing with this one. It's so beautiful. This is Booby Cactus. I think I'm going to definitely chop it next year. That's the plan, and propagate it and see how it's going to grow when I cut it. There is another Mammillaria here that's really pretty. And then I have some Elos. This is actually black gem that has lost its color since I got it inside for just 1 month. So maybe I'm going to have to give it more light not to continue stretching. This is some kind of Elo hybrid. And then I don't think I have shown you this one. This is a little bit more rare cactus. I don't think this lighting really shows well the color. Let me see if I can. It's very blue with a little bit of like purple on the edges. It's like it has a seam sewn all around its edges, and it's really cool looking. So yeah, that is new addition this year. And then I ungrafted this one. I bought it from Meyer. It was a grafted cactus, and I successfully rooted it in a really short time. It has roots, and it's been preparing to bloom. I have one similar one from before that's smaller. But when I saw this one being so big in grocery store, I got it and I ungrafted it. I'm still not a fan of grafted cactuses. Maybe one day. This is a propagation from conservatory. We have a lot of this cactus, and I got one cutting and I propagated it and rooted really quickly. Then I have this one for a little while. I think I bought it at Home Depot 2 years ago. It's also getting tall, so we will see what's going to happen next year. My pretty aloe striata. All right, so let me show you the other window and what I have over there. So here we are at the other window, and as you can see, I have 3 rows here as well. I have some really cute cacti here, like this ripsalis. I think it's called mouse tail. I have to watch this one because it tends to get mealybugs a lot, so I have to watch and spray it. And then next to it, I have I think Joseph Coat, Opuntia, really cute. I have also variegated one here on the bottom shelf. Really cute looking. Then I have some peanut cactus varieties. This one that has beautiful blooms. This one, Opuntia Snow, hasn't really grown a lot this year. I don't think it was super happy in this spot. I don't know. And then here is my Mammillaria that I got like a little cutting, 2 little cuttings from Serbia. Now it has a lot of babies and blooms. And here is a little peanut cactus that I have lost many times, and trying to keep it alive and keep it not getting destroyed from overwatering or from mites. And then there is another peanut cactus variety. That one has beautiful blooms as well. Then I have this one here. I forgot the name. This is balloon cactus, Cactus magnificus. This one has been overwatered and had a root rot. So I actually took the cuttings and I'm hoping it's gonna survive. I had some little roots. This one had a lot of pests. I treated it and it has some new growth. So hopefully it's gonna be okay. That's a crested variety, a Opuntia variety. Another Opuntia. This one has really pretty white blooms. Rebutia. I love these little guys, especially when they bloom with the tiny little orange blooms. It's just so pretty. This is a golden barrel cactus, and I don't know the name of this one. Has beautiful yellow blooms. I have tephra cactus here, paper spine, and then I have the cone, whatever it's called. That one has grown so much this year. I don't know if you remember, I got it in spring. I don't know what it's getting here. Maybe I'm going to spray it just in case. And then it grew these 2, and then it grew another one. So it's pretty big. Then I have a castle cactus. That one is pretty big too. And then I have this, I forgot what it is. Strocylindropuntia subulata monstrosa. Really pretty. And another puntia, and this one, oh, I'm so sad. It looked so cool, and it fell from the shelf and it lost all its branches. It had like 1, 2, 3 more branches. So it had total of 4 branches. Now it looks a little sad, but I'm sure it's going to grow a bunch more branches in summertime next year, and I'm going to probably propagate it. So it hardly can fit here. I have to put it like somehow underneath the shelf in the window to fit. Yeah, so that's my cacti collection. Thank you guys for watching. In the next video, I'm going to still have to show you garage setup, something new that I have in garage, and how my Echeverias and grapta varieties are doing.